All right, what's up guys? Back with a full video on the E36. So the last video I had was the 1JZ was finished. I kind of did like a walk around, just the engine and all that stuff. But today we're gonna go in depth and talk about everything I've done to this thing. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the mods I've done from the beginning to the end, in just chronological order. Just so if you're getting into drifting, I kind of put what's important first and the not so important stuff last. So starting off, the first thing I did when I got this car was coilovers and a welded diff. I went with BC Racing coilovers. Heard they were the best around for the E36s. I didn't want to cheap out on any coilovers because they're a very important part of drifting. So I got the BC Racing coilovers. You can see them right there. Kind of in there, all nice and tucked. Nice lower. I mean, if you look at this, pretty nice looking. It's not too low where I scrape on everything. It's just like the perfect amount in my opinion. The second thing that I did with the coilovers was the welded diff. I did these things both before I took it out drifting. It's just a stock diff that it came with. It was open. It's kind of hard to see. I mean, there's nothing really to see besides just the regular diff there. I pulled that out and then we put in some weld plates over at Black Dog Speed Shop, and we got that welded up, and that was the first things I did. After there, I drifted it for a year on that. Whole stock interior, stock shifter, stock everything. And just the welded diff and the coilovers, and that's really all you need to get started. The next thing that I did was the steering wheel. I mean, that's not really a mod, but it kind of just makes it look all nice and pretty. Got the steering wheel, no airbag, so that's one thing to consider when you do this. But I wasn't really planning on crashing into anything, so just went with the steering wheel. After the BC Racing coilovers, after the welded diff, and after the steering wheel, I started messing with the interior. What I started doing was just cutting out carpet. That was just the biggest thing. At first you get kind of worried, like you're like, oh, I hope it doesn't look like crap, but I mean, if you're turning it into a drift car, you just got to start somewhere and start chucking everything out. So I cut out all the carpet in the car except by my feet, which I'll explain in a second. But so yeah, I cut out all the carpet, stripped as much plastic out. I even took the roof liner out and everything. I left the sunroof for now. I plan on deleting that in the future, but just for now I just decided to keep it. Door panels I also kept just because I didn't want to buy. It makes it look kind of nice, you know. It doesn't look like just bare metal. I might take it off eventually, but we'll see. So yeah, I kept the driver's side carpet because if you look over to the passenger side, it's uneven, and I didn't want that by my feet. So I wanted a nice even surface for my feet to sit, and also it's very thick. It's about like that thick underneath the carpet, and I didn't want to like have to use my tippy toes to touch the pedals down there. I just wanted a nice solid pedal feel, and so I just kept the carpet there. After I stripped the interior, I decided to go with seat upgrade. I went with the NRG Innovation seats. I can get the exact details later, but I had to upgrade with the harness bar and then the 5-point harnesses. With these seat upgrades, you have to do the whole harness bar and the harness setup, or at least in my opinion you do, because once you do this, the seat that comes out has attached the clip. So, I mean, unless you can find out a way to cut that off and like weld it to there, but I decided just to do the whole upgrade. It was probably the best thing that I did. It's a super comfortable feel. You don't slide around when you drift, and it just makes you more in control and stable with the wheel when you drift. My personal favorite upgrades, which isn't necessary for drifting, but a lot of people do it, is the hydro handbrake. I think it is awesome. It improved my driving so much. Instead of just going with a hard flick or a super hard like clutch kick, I decided just to do the hydro. It's a very smooth initiation in a drift, and it helps you point your angles and tandems. So it's a great tool to have, and probably one of my favorite things. I did the ASD with Willwood. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I just decided to go with one of the best. Over here we have the Sicky plate that my handbrake is on. It's a super nice adapter. Definitely recommend it for anybody running a handbrake system in their E36. I'm trying to get the Sicky logo there. There you go. Definitely check them out. Super helpful. Looks super clean. And I mean, like, I'm yanking on this thing and it does not move. Like, this is super secure. So definitely recommend that. The last piece for the interior over here, we have the click tuning chassis mounted shifter. I had to do this with the JZ upgrade, but super happy with this. Feels absolutely amazing. You can hear it click in the gear. It's like butter, and it feels super good. Definitely check out click tuning. So that's pretty much all of my upgrades that I've done inside the car in chronological order. I haven't done much to the interior. I still want to get a couple things just to clean it up and make it look nice, like the door cards, and then maybe something to block off the back, just to make it look all nice and clean, or just even paint it. But we'll see how far we get with it. I forgot to mention with the JZ swap that the most important thing with this, in my opinion, is what it's running off of, which is the EMU Black ECU Masters. It is great. I mean, it's a super powerful engine management system. You can do a lot with it, and it's super nice to be paired with a JZ. So if you're running JZ and you're trying to go standalone, definitely recommend the EMU Black. Back outside the car, I am running for my tires, which are a very important factor in drifting. The Federal RSRRs, super nice. I freaking love them. This made a huge difference in my drifting. They're super gripped up. I mean, they're super aggressive tire pattern, perfect for drifting. When you take a corner, I mean, your front's got plenty of grip. So super great tires, definitely recommend. Especially matched with the BC Racing coilovers on full camber gear. It looks super nice. You can kind of see the camber here. It's just a couple degrees, nothing fancy yet. I just need an angle kit in the future, and then I can get some nice camber and some tires sticking out and make it look all cool. In the rears, since my tires are 15 in diameter, I got the Linglong Crosswind HPs. They're like $38 I got them for at Walmart. Super nice, in my opinion, super cheap. Not the nicest tire, but they last a really long time, and you get a really good amount of grip out of what you get. So I think they're the best bang for your buck. Definitely check them out. Super nice for the rears. Definitely don't want to run them in the fronts, because the fronts you want soft compound, but very good for the rear burners. So for tire pressures, I think it's a very important thing with drifting. With my stock engine, I was running 40 PSI in the rears, and then I was running 25 in the front. With the JZ setup, I'm running 23 in the front, so about the same thing. And then I'm running 30 in the rear, so that's 10 PSI down from before. I've slid, if I want more grip drifting, I'll drop those down to 25 and it still slides no problem with the JZ. So it's super helpful. You can tell I'm kind of losing some tire there. I'm gonna switch those out before tomorrow. I got a drift event coming up. So yeah. Moving to the rear of the car, talking about suspension again. On the BC Racing coilovers, they have 30 levels of dampening. I'm running 20 from the left on each one of these. You just twist it. In drifting, you want the rear to be really stiff. If you have a low power car, the less power you have, the stiffer you want it, just because the stiffer, the less grip you have. If you're running more power, you want to add a little bit more grip by loosening those up, and then you'll get a little bit more grip in the rear end. Not as much as a tire upgrade, but you'll definitely feel it with the suspension squatting down a little bit more. In the front, I am running 10 clicks from the left, so pretty soft. Again, softer the more grip you got, so I wanted to run quite a bit of grip in the front, so I got nice grip there, and then the rear sliding out. So it's a perfect combination, and it feels great on those settings. After all the upgrades with the interior, the tires, I decided to go for an engine swap, which I'm sure you guys have seen on my channel. If not, definitely go check that out. Super cool series. It's the 1JZ VVTi turboed, and yeah, it's super clean fit. I won't go into detail too much with that, but huge thanks to Collins adapter kit to fit the stock trans on. I got the ZF trans for BMW, super nice, super like can hold a lot of power. And then Chase bays for the tucked radiator, makes it look all nice. Got plenty of room in here. Came with a nice fan, wired to my ECU and everything. And then CX Racing provided the piping and everything I needed for that, so I didn't need to weld any custom piping, and it fit pretty nice. So I'm very happy with that. That's pretty much everything with the chassis setup. I could go into more detail another time, but I think that's really all you need to know. Got the whole setup, the interior, got the tires, all the suspension settings, tire pressures. It should give you a good idea, especially if you want to start drifting. You don't need a JZ necessarily to do this kind of stuff, but these are just things that I've done personally, and I find it very helpful for drifting. So yeah, check out my JZ series if you haven't, and thanks for watching.